We're here with former Officer Garcia, and we're asking a few questions. How long were you a police officer?
During the mid to late 90s, over a span of 3.5 years.
Did you enjoy protecting and serving as a police officer?
Yes, I did. It was something that I worked very hard to accomplish, and I found that after graduating, that the rewards were very high.
What made you to want to become a police officer?
Um, I think it was a strong interest in just maybe doing public service work and hopefully giving something back to the community.
Do you consider yourself one of the nicer cops, or like a meaner cop in towns?
Um, I would probably say I was almost a 50-50 type of officer. Uh, Not necessarily mean, but stern to enforce the law, to let them know that you're here for a reason and to help out if at all possible. But sometimes it's not always fun being pulled over by a police officer, especially when you know you're in violation of something.
When you pull people over, do you approach their car carefully or casually, or does it just depend on the kind of area you pull them over in?
You would always want to, as a police officer, you're trained to approach every vehicle in a cautious manner, only because you're not sure of the state of mind of the individual, the motorist, the occupants inside the car, and or if that's actually the person who's driving the vehicle is the registered owner. It could be a stolen vehicle, and you're not sure who may be in the car, if there's even a hostage in the car. So you always want to approach the vehicles with caution.
Do you ever find yourself looking to pull over a flashy car, such as a yellow Corvette or red Corvette or something, like flashy colors?
Only if they were breaking the law in a dramatic manner and or could possibly put the public in harm's way. Example, going at a high rate of speed, not signaling, changing lanes, doing erratic driving, and just driving in a way where it could possibly cause an accident to other motorists.
So similar question, do you think when you pull over a car, does the type of car have an effect on how you'll write the ticket?
Not necessarily. You could actually be following a motorist for a long distance, and not every motorist makes it a habit to look in their rearview mirror. So you could, if it's a high-speed pursuit, your adrenaline is going, and you're concerned about the safety of other motorists, and you're concerned about your own safety also. But not necessarily, you don't pull them over because of the type of vehicle it is, or if it's loud, flashy, or what have you. Normally it's because of your erratic driving.
Have you ever pulled over a teenager for something you might let slide, like if an adult was driving?
Yes. Within reason, if they were to give you a good reason and not an excuse for their driving habits, or what we were pulling them over for, yes, they've been known. Back in the day, you could do that.
Would you say, in your opinion, that in general teenagers get pulled over more than adults do?
I think that it's a very good question. However, in some of the more highly populated metropolitan areas, Los Angeles versus a very small Midwest town, the amount of number of motorists that you have in a metropolitan area is greater, and you would probably say there's a higher percentage of younger drivers being pulled over than there versus older ones.
How many times in your career have you pulled over someone for modifications on their vehicle?
I would probably say maybe a dozen times, but the modifications were something as far as if it's a large, for lack of a better description, monster truck, where the tires are exceeding the end of the fender well by 6 inches. That could be unsafe. And so it would be something simple like that. If it was something where their vehicle was speeding excessively and finally caught up to the car and pulled it over, and there was maybe modified exhaust or something illegal as far as not proper body coverage, you would usually start tacking on different violations on top of that speeding ticket.
What's your favorite part of being an officer?
Working with firemen. No. I would probably say at the end of the shift, going home safely and knowing that hopefully you did something well that day and stopped something bad from happening or occurring.
And final question, what's the best way to get out of a ticket?
Honesty. Honesty is the best thing. Taught at a young age, there's a difference between excuses and reasons. If you provide honesty and a good reason for why the police officer pulled you over, chances are they'll probably be more understanding and willing to assist you and help you versus getting a big lecture and trying to make excuses, trying to get out of a ticket.
Thank you.